What do you do to prepare for a long journey? You get a companion, get some supplies, and ensure others know you're going. Today we prepare for a journey of our own on the Bible Brief. Thanks for joining us on the Bible Brief podcast, where we help you learn the life-changing story and message of the Bible. We're excited to have you here as we kick off our walkthrough of the Bible starting on Monday, January 2nd. We're trying to do something special here on the Bible Brief. We're trying to guide you not through the Bible from cover to cover, and not even through the Bible from book to book. Instead, we're exploring the Bible story with you from beginning to end. We're convinced that as you begin to travel along with the people in the Bible, through their ups and downs, through their moments of triumph and moments of trial, that you'll begin to connect with them in a new way. And not only that, but as you see the new connections in this big story, you'll begin to wonder at the way that God has woven together this big story for a big purpose. He wants you to learn more about Him and to come to trust Him. God wants you to know His creativity, His power, His justice, His mercy, and ultimately, His love for a world that's rejected Him. God wants you, listener, to know that He loves you and made a way for you to come back to Him. But now we're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll get into the story starting Monday, January 2nd, and we can't wait for you to join us. Now this episode is to help you prepare for the Bible walkthrough. So we're going to go through just a few things for you to do before you start listening next Monday. So first things first, a note on the structure of the Bible Brief podcast. If you're new around here, and especially if you're new to the Bible, it may be useful for you to check out our prior series. We've structured this podcast around 4 speeds through the Bible: a 3-episode sprint, a 10-episode run, a 46-episode jog, and we're about to embark on a walkthrough that will be in excess of 100 episodes. The point of this structure is to help you gain knowledge of the Bible in layers. We want you to be able to learn the Bible while keeping the big picture in mind. It's easy when reading the Bible cover to cover or listening to The Bible in a Year to get lost in the weeds of the Bible story. So much so that you can quickly forget the big story that's being woven together even with those weeds you're lost in. On the Bible Brief, we've created this structure so that with each slowdown in speed, from the sprint to the run or the run to the jog, we're adding layers of details. And as the details are layered on, it's much easier to appreciate how they communicate and enhance the big overall story of the Bible. With all that said, we have one recommendation for our new listeners as you prepare to listen to the walkthrough of the Bible. We'd recommend listening to the 10-episode Bible run-through to ensure that you have a good big picture perspective before we dive into the walkthrough starting on Monday. Our Bible run-through series starts in Season 1, Episode 9. So start there if you're a new listener. Okay, now for all our listeners, whether you've been with us since the beginning or have just joined us in the middle of our Bible journey, we have 3 things that you can do to prepare for the walkthrough. Are you ready? First, find a friend. Think of your favorite epic story for a moment, and think of the main character. Didn't that main character usually have a traveling companion? When you're on an amazing journey, having a partner can make it that much better. Who would Frodo Baggins be without his trusty friend Sam? And when you journey through the Bible, you'll find new discoveries. You'll have aha moments. You'll have questions and curiosities. You'll want to have someone to talk to about all these things. Sometimes you'll need that friend to help you push through some sections where you might not immediately see relevance to your life. In any case, our first recommendation for prep is to find a friend. Second, find a Bible. Listening to the Bible Brief is great, but we also want you to spend time in the Bible itself, without the fluff of the podcast. If possible, we'd recommend a physical Bible, but for many of our listeners, we recommend an audio Bible since many of you listen on a work commute or during exercise. We get that there's not always a physical Bible nearby, and while we'd love to integrate an audio Bible into the podcast, due to copyright restrictions, it's not possible at this time. Instead, we will include a few links in the show notes to this episode to free Bible apps that include audio Bibles. Spending just a few minutes in one of those apps to find the audio Bible function will help you seamlessly integrate an audio Bible into your routine. We simply want listeners to the Bible Brief to be in the Bible text itself, whether in audio or visual form. Finally, third, over the next few weeks, even through the middle of January, we'd love it if you'd spread the word about the Bible walkthrough on the Bible Brief. The mission of the Bible Brief is to help you learn the life-changing story and message of the Bible. We would love to extend that to as many people as possible. And you can imagine the strength of a real person referring his or her friends to the podcast. We'd do that if we could, but our problem is that we don't know your friends. Only you do, and your recommendation matters to them. So we'd be honored if you'd recommend the Bible Brief to your friends. We are so excited to walk through the Bible with you, starting on Monday, January 2nd. And between now and then, don't forget, find a friend, get a Bible, and spread the word. See you soon on the Bible Brief.
Are you enjoying the podcast? Leave us a 5-star review on your podcast app. It will help people discover the Bible Brief and be exposed to the life-changing story and message of the Bible. Thank you for helping us grow. The Bible Brief is brought to you by the Bible Literacy Foundation, dedicated to helping people like you learn the Bible. Copyright Bible Literacy Foundation 2022.